video in a while. I'm just doing a retouch up for a tutorial for new people out there who got the game and haven't figured out the basics. So this will just be a real simple basic tutorial, do a few things. So we just got initial startup here, procedures to go through. So first, when you get in, and this is the FA-28B, so procedures pretty much the same for all the planes. It's just a matter of where the switches are. So for this particular plane, here we are, we're sitting in the cockpit. You're going to first turn on your main battery here, and then you're going to turn on your APU. Next, flip the canopy. That will close the canopy, give you a little peace of mind, so it's a little bit quieter. And then after that, I'd say dealer's choice as to what buttons, what switches you want to turn on after that. That's how you get the main power to the system, get the canopy closed so you can think and hear, and then everything after that is kind of like I said, dealer's choice as to what you want to do and switches. So I usually have a method. It varies every time, but again, you just need to make sure you hit all the switches. So again, main battery, APU, canopy to close. And you got your little mirror up there. Hi, mirror. And then from there, I usually start turning on my panels. So with the panels, I usually turn this one on first, and then I turn on my S-cam as to whatever I want it on. I usually like the camcorder view, and then I try to get that set up somewhere back here over my shoulder. And I usually do all this beforehand, but I'm doing it now so you can actually see what I do, so you can do what you want to do. And there's your little view there. So after I get all that set up, then I'll go ahead and press this top one, put it on fuel, and then I go ahead and flip my switches here for my hood and HMCS. Then I would flip the mirror, and then we come around to this side, and then go ahead and flip that, turn on the RWR, turn on this panel, and usually I go ahead and hit on comms, ATC, we're on the carrier Nimitz, and then go ahead and ask for takeoff.
Hotel 1-1, you're cleared to taxi to Cat 3.
Hotel 1-1, cleared to taxi to Cat 3. And then once we get clearance, then I go on about my business. Zoom out, navigation. Alright, once you got that, then you're ready to start up your engines. So go ahead and flip up your engine caps. You can adjust your seat here, down, up. I usually try to keep, as you can see, my hand here is moving. My hand is resting on my leg, my thigh. So I try to get this set here so that I'm not holding it in the middle of the air. And then on my chair, I got my arm here, and I try to scoop my chair as close as possible so that my arm is on the rest. And then I can just, keep it here and don't have to worry about holding my arm up in the air. You don't want to be holding your arms up in the air if you don't have to. So that's that set up. Once you get that set up, the seat, then you're good, you're golden. So go ahead and start up your engines. Get engine 1 going. And you can see the RPMs there go up. Engine 2 going. Put the caps down, and then once you get the engines up and going, depending on how fast you want to get going in the game, you can go ahead and turn off your APU, which is your auxiliary power to get your engines going. So now they're going, you don't need it. Alright, next, we already got our clearance. We got our brake lock on, as you can see. The wings are folded up, as you can see. Pick the brown camouflage today. So we are ready to move to Cat 3. Now, some of you may want your visor on. I don't fly with it on 24/7. If I need it, I will turn it on. Night vision, that's a different story, depending on if I need it, but obviously don't need it in the middle of the day. But if you do, your visor is right down here. We hit visor, visor comes down, you get your superimposed HUD here, as you can see it wherever you look. And that's important, yeah, I guess, when you're dogfighting. But for takeoff, not necessary, but I did bring it up just so that we could see here in the main screen that there is Catapult 3. So we start out here on the right, going from right to left. I believe 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the far one there. So we're here. Be ideal to take off at 1 or 2, but since we're here at 3, they're making us go 3, so we actually have to go back and then come back around to get to it, because you just can't go straight to it. You have to kind of line it up. So, all right. So for the controls, you got your left hand, right hand. I usually hit. I set it up so that you just press the button. I guess we'll call it the middle finger, which is the trigger finger. No, let's not say trigger finger. Trigger finger would be the index finger. I'm going to keep with the middle finger. So it's the one where your hand grips the controller. That one, I use that to press it once to grab, and then I don't have to hold it. I would suggest setting up yours like that so you don't have to sit here and hold it. So now I push the button once and it's grabbed the stick here, and I'm good to go. I push it again and it lets go. Otherwise you'd have to hold that button the whole time, which yeah, I don't want to do that. Who wants to do that? So I would suggest not to set that up. This mission here, I set it up a while ago, don't remember what it is, but I got a couple of drones over here, refueling drones there, 2, 3 refueling drones, a couple of wingmen over here, and then some more on the other side of the tower here. I got a path to fly around, so I got some of everything in this mission. You can, follow a couple of jets, for, just practicing your formation, so to speak. Otherwise, a la carte, I got some air-to-air, air-to-ground stuff, all kinds of goodies in here. There's another aircraft carrier over there. It's got more planes on it. Again, they're just out there flying stuff so you can fly with them. I set up the mission so everything is good here. Nobody's doing anything until we launch. So that's just in the mission parameters. So I got a video out there of how to design your own mission, and from time to time I'll design a mission and just get I gotta design something. I'm tired of playing this mission. I want to do something else. But when I do a mission, I get a lot of value out of playing it because I set up so many things in the mission. I got air-to-air, I got air-to-ground, I got, formation flying. You can practice landing if you want. There's usually a base somewhere near, although this mission is just the 2 carriers. There is a base somewhere out there, but it's far away. I got like I said, 1, 2, 3 air-to-air, well, not air-to-air, 3 drones that are refueling drones. I need to change that in the mission. It is super duper hard, at least for me, to hook up and refuel by the drones. They are just not as stable as the actual big refueling tankers, and I have a hard time staying in the groove to link up with them to fuel. And so I wanted to switch that, and I'll be switching that probably here sometime in the near future. But for now, if you want to try it, you can do it. I don't know if I'm going to publish this one, so you can fly it if you want. So we'll see. I might wait to publish it until I, take the drones out, replace them with actual refuel tankers. Again, they're a lot bigger, a lot more stable, easier to connect with. I thought the drones would be another challenge, and it's super challenging because they're so small and they're just bouncing all over the place. place. But anyway, we're wasting fuel here. We're wasting fuel. Actually, we're not. The fuel gauge, it doesn't seem to be going down, so we can sit here and talk all day, but we're done talking for now. So all right, let's go ahead and get this puppy moving. Your lights are over here. If you know, nighttime, or you need to turn on your lights, you got your interior lights here, which you can't really tell anything there. Yeah, you can, barely. You can see the shadow come on and off there. That's the interior lights. You got your instrument lights right here. It just gives a back glow to your instruments. Right there, it kind of makes it green, kind of gives that. Don't need that right now. You got your landing lights, your strobes, which are for your wings and things. They'll light up your strobes. Yeah, you can see it off the wall over there, the tower. Blink, 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 blink. You can turn on your strobes. And then you got your nav lights, which light up on your wings and whatnot. So it's daytime. We'll put that stuff on. How about that? We'll just leave it on. All right. I'll just go over a few other buttons probably here before we get airborne, because no need for you to just get airborne, and then I guess I could explain stuff there, but we'll just go ahead over a few other buttons here. Don't mess, you don't need to mess really with any of these things over here. This right here is your fuel port, open, close, and basically that just opens up for redocking if you need to dock in the air for refueling. Why is that carrier getting so close to us? That's like bad. That's bad. But that's how you open up that. So if you don't open up the port, you're not going to be able to refuel. Actually, I don't even know if the boom will drop down if you don't have that. Here's your fuel dump. If you need to dump fuel for whatever reason, you're going to crash. You need to dump the fuel. Self-explanatory. There's your flaps. There's your landing gear. Green. Gear is down. Here's your launch bar for taking off on the carrier, and here's your hook for landing on the carrier. Here's your master arm to arm your weapons. You will need to leave. I don't know why they did this, but the cap used to be like the engines that you can flip it back down. You can't. So if you turn this on and put the cap back down, it turns it off. I wish they would go back to the cap being like the engine cap here with the top, so you could do that. So you would have to lift it up and then click it off, but I don't know why they changed it. That was kind of dumb, but that's just my 2 cents worth. All right, so over here we have the brake lock, obvious brakes, and then wing up, down, and that is the fold of the wings. As you can see right there, they're folded up, and as you can see up there, brake lock and wing fold are in effect. All right, controls. A couple other switches here in the middle. Let's get those out of the way. Jettison. So let's say you need to jettison your stores. You flip up the switch here. You select what you want to do. You can do all, tanks, none, and then you just push this right here, and the stuff drops off. So I'm not sure why you would. I mean, I understand why you would need it, but in the game, no, I don't ever jettison anything. There's no need for me to jettison. I guess if I was running low on fuel and I had a bunch of weight, yeah, you could jettison all your stuff at that point. Here's your RWR, which is this. It is always on. You can mute it so it's not making any noise, or you can turn it off. But yeah, personally, if you want it off, I just say just turn it off there if you want it off. But it sounds like okay, so even with the panel off, you can still hear it going tink, 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 tink. So mute, you can't hear it. So even with the panel off up here, the power it's still going and making noise. So all right, up here, HUD tint. If you need to change the tint in your HUD here, you can see that changing. I usually don't mess with it. I usually leave it wherever it is, but you know, we can make it a little bit darker. That's pretty cool. Master caution. So let's say you're flying slow, gonna stall. Something happens, something's wrong. Master caution goes off. You can press that to shut up the computer person. There's your clear waypoint, your alt mode. And then here are your autopilot type things here. So autopilot is off. We can't turn any of this stuff on because we're not in the air, but if you wanted to do navigation mode, you press navigation, speed, heading, and altitude. Altitude, hold your altitude. Heading, hold your heading. Speed, hold your speed. And navigation, navigation. This is the brightness of the hood. If you wanted to change that, dim, bright, and then declutter. Just kind of takes stuff off, you know, based upon you got everything. Less. Is it going more? No. So 3 clicks. I don't ever declutter. And then we have our hood and HMCS. HMCS deals with our helmet and our visor down here. So if you want to use that, it's not working. So turn that off. Notice that you see nothing here now. And then turn it back on. That's it. So can't remember what it stands for, but let's just say HMCS helmet, blah blah blah, something. So if you don't have that turned on, you're not gonna see this stuff out here. All right, now last few switches here in the middle. Here's your speed. So if you set autopilot to speed, this is where you adjust the speed here. So once you hit speed, it will keep the current speed, and then you can dial it down or up from here, and it's just like a cruise control in the car. Enough said. Here's your VSI, your radar on and off. It's always off unless you turn it on. And then you have, if you want to get technical and land and get all that stuff, and you want to set it in this dial here, you can. Let's see, here's your course, here's your heading. So let's say they say, hey, you know, Hotel 11 heading for the carrier is, you know, 265, yada yada yada. Then you can turn this dial to 265. It'll line up these little bars so you can see where the runway is, all that, etc., etc. Here's your autopilot altitude. You adjust that. So again, once you hit altitude, hold, it will hold the current altitude, and then if you need to go up or down, turn the knob, and the plane will again cruise control-ish. Nothing big about that. Inside the panel here, we'll do a little bit more. I'm not going over everything real quick. Here's your equipment. That's your stores. You can go into these and change things. So here's the AGM-89, which is the anti-ship missile. Right now it is on pop-up. You can change it to direct mode. Direct pop-up will pop up and come down. C-skim will stay low. And then C-skim, SS evasive, it'll kind of, you know, and then back to pop-up. So, all right, back. And then Hydras are like your Hydra missiles. There's a Salvo 1. You can change the Rippo. So I only have 1 salvo on the plane here. So I maxed out the weapons so that they replenish, so you don't have to land to rearm. The Ripple 1, 400, 8, 16, single. So single is 1, Ripple 4, 8, 16. So just your rockets go a lot faster when you undo them. I usually keep them on single. It's just easier. You can jettison from here versus down here. So if you were to hit jettison here, it would jettison from here. And then same thing with the other weapons here. Here's the AGM 65, uncaged, manual, auto. You know, just a few things. Those are, I don't usually mess with any of this stuff in here, but if you want to, you can come in here to configure some stuff. The anti-ship missiles, what do the bombs do? Target, manual, auto, 120. Yeah, not sure what that is. Auto, rail rate. Yeah, no idea. So don't mess with it. Leave it as is. Manual, auto, dumb, manual. And then what's the other one I wanted to look at? The 88. Nothing you can do on that one. So, alright, that's your equipment. Options, this is where you can get in and change the options of the thing. So, there's your fuel, the alt warning settings, the units, if you want to change your units, joystick mode, joystick sensitivity. You can change this. I suggest changing this, and the best way to say it is test it out on refueling. If it's really touchy, then you need to change your sensitivity. I was having a hard time docking with the refueling tankers, and I saw a video and someone was like, hey man, do joystick sensitivity, and it made a huge difference, because when you were making these little subtle changes, the plane wasn't jerking like this. The subtle changes were, it felt more natural, and so I like it at 0.60, but you can adjust that. There's 0.8, 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 6, 1, 8, 0.60, which is as low as it'll go. How low can you go? Comms, we've already been over that. You can tell your wingman to do certain things. You can talk with the AWACS, ground control, air traffic control. Not going over all the stuff you can say to them. Here's your countermeasures, release mode, single. You can change this stuff in here if you want to. Again, the default stuff is pretty good. Navigation, that brings up your map. Zoom in, zoom out, up, down if you want to move the actual map around. There's your objective, RTB, fuel if you have one set up, lower target altitude, raised target altitude, GPS send, and left and right. So these control moving the cursor around if you had this as selected, and then reset recenters it. So we'll show how those things are on multiple screens, if you will. So we'll come back to it. I'm not going to describe it on that one, but I will on another one. So objectives, I got 12 objectives. Like I said, here's launch, destroy the SAAWs, destroy the fleet, destroy MB2T tanks, destroy outpost area, RTB. So you can RTB to the lake base, or you can RTB to the forgotten base, or refuel drone 1, refuel drone 2, refuel drone 3, which I will be taking out. I'll keep the drones in the air, but I'm gonna have the refuel tankers replace them flying in their location. I could keep them both there and just, there you go, I probably will do that. Just put refueling tankers there as well as a small one. So then if you want to challenge, you can do the drones. If not, you got the bigger ones to do. And then RTB to the carrier, which we're taking off of here. And then destroy tangos, which are some fighters. And then, like I said, I got a mixture of things, so you can pick what you want to do. And good from there. Here's the cam, which we have over here. Again, you got random, which it'll just scroll through, mode where you can do camcorder, chase, etc., etc., etc. Look, missile, target, self. I keep it on missile. You can change this 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 12 seconds. So if you have it random, it'll stay on for 12 seconds and then switch to the next one. Start, end, video, view, turn the view off, audio off. Don't mess with the audio. I just leave it as is. Auto, FOV, don't mess with that. But you can change this 40, which zooms in, 15, 25, 5, 100, and then 60. So 60 is the ideal one, but if you want to, for some reason, zoom in, I guess you could do that. SS is screenshot, saves it on your PC somewhere if you want to grab that for whatever reason. Let's say you're creating a mission and you wanted a screenshot from the game, you could do that. Next, we have TGP, targeting pod, which is underneath. You need to have one of those when you set up your ship. You want to make sure you do that. So we'll go ahead and hit that. This is what this screen looks like here. When you start this screen here, first thing you need to do is hit power, give the system power, and then from there you can turn on the head, which I never do because it's super duper hard. So once you get this selected, this is how you select targets out in the field. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we turned on the power, and then you hit SOI. I like to call that source of interest. Don't know what it stands for originally, but source of interest sounds like a really good one for me, because this what you tell is a source of interest when you're targeting something. So we'll go ahead and hit our index finger, middle finger here around the palm to grab the stick here, and then the thumbstick will move this little box around. And as you can see in the hood, and as you can see over here, you'll see this little square. That's how you pick a target. So you're flying, you don't have to line up nose on target. You can select that by moving this around. So I'm gonna pick just to the left of the tower over there. There is a plane, boop, right there. We can zoom in. That's the target that we have selected. All right, and it says friend. So if you're out in the field, you're flying, you want to drop a bomb on something or whatnot, this is how you pick a target so you can tell the computer this is the target we're going for and aiming for. So let's say we're in the air, this is a building we want to bomb. Okay, we highlighted that. Once we do that, what you want to do is you want to hit this GPS S, which is GPS send. You hit that button there, bingo. Now we come over here to the GPS system, and it has given us a coordinate of the target we just locked up, and we sent it to this computer system here. So now, if we're dropping bombs or we have a guided missile or whatnot, this is where it's going to go. And so once you line up with the target, you may have to put your nose on it, put your nose on the target, and then fire. It's gonna go to that GPS thing, kind of like what I, tell my girlfriend tells me. I just follow the blue line on the GPS. Well, this is the blue line, and that's where the bomb is going or the missile's going. So you fire, move out of the way, dodge, evade, yada yada. A lot of stuff is not, you don't have to continue lock. The GPS stuff is you set the coordinates, you go. GPS stuff will not. It'll work, but it will not work if your target is moving. So if you got a moving tank and you lock in the GPS, well, by the time the missile or bomb gets there, that thing is way long gone from where you locked into position. So with those are not something you would use a GPS target. That would be a different type of targeting system. So you can set multiple targets. So I'm going to hit this and go back to the TGP, and then I'm going to go ahead and you have to do this every time you come back to it, that source of interest. And now I'm going to lock up this vehicle here, and I'm going to hit GPS send again. So now I'm going to go back to my GPS. Now you can see I have 2 targets. So you can set up a bunch of targets if you will. Once you've got a target, you can, so let's say we just took out the first target, boom, you can delete that target. Now you got your second target. Once you're done with that, you can delete the target. So lots of different stuff that you can do from there. So we'll go ahead, we'll hit this GPS send, source of interest. There's our other one, GPS send, and it moves faster if you zoom out. There we go, GPS send and GPS send. There we go. And then is there a GPS? That would be nice if there was just a GPS button here, but there's not, because that would be too easy. So GPS, now you can see we got 4 targets here. So let's say you want, first of all, this target here highlighted in green is the first target, which would have been the one on the far left here. So let's say you get that target locked up, you launch your missile to that one, you're good to go. It's following that GPS. Now you can see I moved down to the second one here, launch your missile, now that one's going to that one, third one, fourth one, etc. So you get all that stuff done. You can delete single target there, or you can delete the whole group, or you can add a new group. Here's a new group down here. So, and then to change the groups, you just go up and down here. So let's say you got groups 1 are some ships, and group 2 are some tanks just off on the shore. You can do whatever you want. I find it that it's easier not to do multiple groups, so I keep one group, and I usually just do a couple of targets at a time, because if you got a bunch of them, like 7 or 8 in here, are you going to remember which one is 6, which one is 4, which one is 3, which one is 2? Probably not. So for me, it's just easier to keep one target locked, done with it, delete it, get another target, so it's 1, 1, 1. But again, if you want to set them up, you got some logic of how you set them up, and you can remember which one is which, have at it. Otherwise, you delete the target, or you can delete the group, deletes the whole group. Let's say you got all of them done. So, all right, that's your TGP. Going back to this screen here. So again, you saw me zoom in, you saw me zoom out. There's your GPS send. Now, let's say, okay, let's get our source of interest. So zoom out, it's slow. All right, so here we go. I got the drone over here to my right selected. So a lot of times you'll get a target selected and it's off to your left or right, and you zoom out and you'll reach the limit. You'll see gimbal limit because the camera underneath the plane here will only turn so far. So you get that gimbal limit, you may have to recenter your camera, and to do that you just hit forward, and now the camera is back again pointing forward, and you can, you know, there it is back in the front here. So now you got it moving around, easy peasy. Okay, now limits overlay, yeah, sensor, it's on daytime right now. You can switch that to night, which is, if you're flying at night, this would be a better view. And if you want to do color like real life, you can do that, but I find that daytime is most effective for day and night is most effective. The color mode, not really my thing. And then target, again, change it. There's your waypoint. And then last, the head. Okay, so head brings up this, as you can see, superimposed camera. So let's say you're looking around, you got that. So there it is. I have that selected right over there. And on my stick, left zooms in, and right, let's see, go back. Okay, down zooms out, up zooms in. Left and right do something, but they seem to be all messed up. So I would just keep it up and down. And again, this is on the thumb on your controller over here on the right. So up is zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Down is zoom out. So without having to hit zoom here, you can do it all on the stick. Now, I'm trying to zoom in over there on the deck of the carrier to get that jet. As you can see, it is super hard to, when you got it zoomed out, it is super hard to keep your head just where it needs to be to get the target locked on. Super, I don't know if it's not supposed to be used this way, but it's unusable this way pretty much, which is why I don't suggest using it. Now, if you have it, I mean, this is pretty close. That's zoomed. That's no zoom right there. That moves pretty quick, but again, it's hard to get the target you want to lock. So let's say I want to get that one. So I get it close to that, and I push the right thumbstick in. That locks up that. Not sure where my head thing went, but that's something different. Okay, they changed something. So okay, so you get the screen here, zoom out, you get the cursor close to where you want it, and then push that right thumb in. It selects it and then takes that view away. It might be a little bit better that way, but again, the head, not my thing. If you want it, that's the basics of how to use it. I'd just say steer away from it, but if you want to practice with it, sure, go ahead, but I'd say just stay away from it. Okay, moving on. There's your GPS screen. We already kind of touched on that. Data, yeah, nothing. Log, let's say you shot down something, yada yada, it gives you a log of all the stuff you did here. Game, if you need to recenter, quick save, restart, exit the game. SCAM, we've already done. ARAD here brings up this screen here. So this is for your anti-radiation missiles. So let's say you got a SAM site or radar site that's out there that you need to shoot. You need to know what you can hit it with. So we'll go over here to our equipment. That would be your AGM 88s. There's other variants. I got the 88 here. I think it's the longest one, longest range. So what you would do is you hit that ARAD and then SOI, source of interest, and then this is going to move these little lines around here, and you highlight over that, and then you press that right thumbstick in. It gives you that little box, and then you wait for the shoot cue. These lights will light up. It'll say shoot when you're in range, and then, well, we don't have the weapons arm, but let's just for technical sake, we'll arm the weapons, and once you arm the weapons, it's going to be the 2 buttons. So your fingers on the thumbstick, you're going to go just to the left, and you'll have, like, I'll call it an A and B. It's the top button, and that cycles your weapons. So
Shoot.
there we go. It says shoot because we've got that locked on. So shoot, and then where is it? I don't see it. But it says you can shoot. When it says shoot, you know you're in range. You're good to go. And you can move this around. Again, you want to keep with inside the V here because that's where your sensors can read. Something over here you're not going to be able to see, but you will have to turn the plane this way to get it within scope. This is kind of like the cone range of the weapon, so anything outside of the cone, not going to have a good chance of hitting it, if that makes sense. So, alright, turn the master off, that, home. Next we have radar, and so for the radar to get turned on, turn the radar on, just like that. And then you got your plus minus, it's at 64 and 32 for the inner. Can change that, 32, 16, 16, 8, 5 and 2.5, 3 and 1.5. That's as close as it'll go. So depending on how far your target is, it comes up on the HUD, tells you how far it is. You kind of want to have this so you can keep it on the screen here. So that's all the stuff that I would change on that. Again, SOI, source of interest. So you get your fighters up here that you're looking, they're going to be red carrots, we'll just call them that. So you hit your source of interest, your hand is on the stick, you use the thumb, you get it highlighted, you press the thumbstick in to select it. Depending on what missile you have, if it's a heat seeker, yeah, you really don't need to do too much with that. But if it's what's the other one? Ooh, there's one of our planes right there. So you can select it. There it is. It tells you the bearing, range, and altitude right there. And you can select multiple targets. There's 2, so 1, 2 targets there. And if you want 1, you push 1, 2, you select 2, so you can do that. They're circling around us up here, but that's how that works there. Pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so that's all of the systems. We got everything going, so now we're just going to do a quick restart of the system. Alright, welcome back. So we're just going to do a quick restart here, so we'll get everything going. I already explained everything, so again, first 3 switches, main battery, APU, canopy down, make it a little bit quieter. Alright, and then already discussed the switches, so not going to go over those. I'm just going to go ahead and do what I do, get it started here on my end. Make up for some time. Comms, air traffic control, limits, takeoff.
Hotel 1-1, you're cleared to taxi to Cat 3.
Hotel 1-1, clear to taxi to Cat 3. Alright, have our clearance. Engine 1, engine 2. Spooling up. Navigation, zoom out. It's already rolling, so you're basically going to roll, turn your wrists. That's how you, unless you have some fancy pedals or something like that. So we're just going to rotate around here to the left. A little throttle. Straighten it up. Got some smoke coming out of it. He's got start up now. Alright, line this puppy up here. And it's very forgiving. just need to get it close. Alright, there we go. Throttle all the way back. Let go, and we want to put the launch bar down, hand back on the throttle, and lining it up right down the middle. Little throttle, and we'll just wait for it to catch. A little bit further. And almost there.
Hotel 1-1, locked in. Throttle down and run your launch checklist.
Alright, throttled in, locked in, ready to go. Go over your checklist.
Hotel
Just make sure everything
1-1,
is
shields
good.
up, ready to go.
Shields up, ready to go back there. Alright, and then you get the master caution. Tell her to shut up. Shut up. But basically she's saying wing fold, because your wings are still folded up. You're not going to go far with the wings folded up. So, and the switch here is lighting. So we put that down, the wings go down. There we go, down on that side, down on that side. We got our strobes going. And then, you know, real plain stuff here. You know, grab your stick, twisting left and right. You can see the rudders back there working. And we're going left on the stick, right on the stick, left on the stick, right on the stick. That's good. Back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. Everything seems to be working A-okay, because if it wasn't, then we should not be taking off. Alright, so we're locked in, ready to go. Pretty simple. Let's get our flaps down. Alright. And then all you do to launch is go ahead and put the throttle to full burner, and it'll shoot off for you, and then back on the stick, and you're good to go. Back on the stick, and good to go. And then gear up, launch bar up, and you can take your flaps up. You got positive incline. Alright, you can take it out of burner. Alright, we're going to bank around here to the left. Nice and smooth. Fast is smooth and smooth is fast. And we're just going to do a little circle. There we go, and you can see a jet up behind us there. On our wingman, you can see some lights off the deck of the other carrier. Alright, and there's some more taking off. So that's what we programmed the mission to do. We take off, and then everybody else gets going and takes off. So we get priority. There they go. You can see them taking off. Others taking off the other carrier. We're going to circle in behind the carrier we just took off from. There we go. This is Ghost Rider requesting a flyby. Alright, yep, you can see one there. Catapult 2, Catapult 3 and 4. And go ahead, shoot them off. Yep, there's a drone shooting off. Catapult. There's 2, 3. And 4. We're just going to go ahead and cross over them real quick here before they gain altitude. There we go. So,
Enemy targets, weapons hot.
alright, there's some enemy fighters, weapons hot. I think the fighters are over that way. Yeah, you can see some trails already. They're already engaging stuff over there. I need to change that in the mission because I want to shoot them. I don't want the other guys shooting them. I want to shoot them. So by the time we got over there, they probably blow all the stuff up. So we're not gonna go over
Fuck
there.
3.
Where's there's this guy going here. So what we'll do here is we'll bank around, putting it in the burner here. And look, we've launched, everybody's airborne. And we're gaining speed here. Gonna catch up with this plane up here. It's been a while since I set up the mission.
Enemy targets engaging.
Damn, the enemy evaded my missile.
Continue flight.
Fox 3.
And take burner off. So here's a little trick you want to do. So we're trying to catch up with that plane there so we can hit home. TGP, power on. Source
Splash
of interest.
Bandit. Fox 3.
Alright, we have him in there, and it's a drone actually. So we're gonna scoop up behind the drone here.
Fox 3.
Zoom out a little bit.
Ha! Splash Bandit.
Fox 3, missile away.
Wingmen are just having a field day out there. I didn't know I had a drone this close to the carrier. Really no need for it.
Splash! Fox 3.
Splash Bandit.
Splash Bandit.
Missile away, Fox 3.
Alright, see, they took out all the tangos, which was all the air-to-air, and it's because they were so close to the carrier, they kind of went on ahead and did their own thing, even though I didn't tell them to.
Target destroyed.
Alright, so first we'll just come up behind this drone here. And as you can see, they're so small and nimble that it's really hard to, like, refuel by one of those puppies. I had no idea it was super hard, otherwise I probably wouldn't have set them up initially. And on the left stick, index finger, as you can see the brake up there, so if you need to brake, you just brake. You can cut back on the throttle some. So we're coming up behind the drone here. Can't refuel because we have external tanks, and so we'd have to drop those and then dump some fuel. System kind of knows that you don't need fuel if you come up behind it and you have stuff in your internal tanks. So but this is flying up close on behind the drone. You can come up with your approach. Tap the brakes. And again, you would need to open up your fuel port. Let's just see if we'll get it to... I know it won't because our thing is, but we're just curious. Yeah, see, it doesn't drop the boom because we have... our tanks are full. You know, it reads off of your internal tanks. So this is how you would come up behind it. Nice and slow. And it would drop out of there, but alright, you get the point. Bye-bye, tanker. Alright, so let's get that off. Navigation. Let's look at some objectives. Alright, there's one wingman over here coming up. There's 2. So they went and destroyed all the fighters. Thanks a lot, buddies. We didn't want to do that. So we launched the Zulu, the fleet, tanks, outpost. Alright, so you get your objective here, you hit WTP, waypoint, it programs the waypoint in, go to navigation, 32 nautical miles back that way. So obviously we need to make a turn. So we'll go ahead and head up, open out, and we'll switch the camera, put it on random for a second. Alright, so we are up 12,000 feet, which, you know, I can't remember what I got the carriers or planes or all this stuff, what I have their threat levels at, but ideally probably wouldn't be coming in to attack from 12,000 feet. So, alright, good time to go ahead and arm the weapons. Since we're going after the ships, we want the anti-ship weapon. So again, the thumb up here, changing it, airs T, AGMs, Hydras, anti-ship cruise missile. We have it on pop-up. So let's go into the equipment, AGMs, and then we're going to change that to C-skim evasive. How about that? All right, and then to our TGP, and we want to hit forward, bring that back forward. Source of interest, and we're just going to move it down towards that waypoint there. Zoom out, still a little ways. Oh, there's a boat right there. Yeah, we can see it. Day, night, color. Put it back on day. But that is one of them. Oh, there's another one. And we'll just keep that there for now. There we go. There we go. It's got it selected. So we got that target in there. We hit the GPS send.
Shoot.
And it's saying we're ready to shoot. So to shoot, we're going to hit the index finger.
Shoot.
There we go. And missile's off. There it is down there. It's going down to the sea, and it's going to skim, and it's going to be evasive. Alright, and then we're going to come over to the carrier here, GPS send, and I'm going to show you that other thing. So we hit the GPS, we hit the coordinate 2 down here,
Shoot.
and we launch that,
Shoot.
and we shot 2 at the carrier. TGP, source of interest, there's another one there, GPS send, GPS, move this down 1,
Shoot.
and 1 at the cruiser, TGP, minus, 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 and we are going to take her down. 2,000, 2,500, 2,000,
Shoot.
1,500, 1,300, 1,200, 1,000. Letting off the brake. 900, 800. Alright. We are going to brake around to the right. whole time, but we'll hold altitude hold on the autopilot, and we can let go of the stick.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Yep, turn the master caution off. Just looking for some explosions over there, looking for some explosions. And we may have them where they have their weapons and they might have blown them up. Oh, I see explosions over there, bingo, bingo. Mushroom cloud. Boom. Alright, as you can see, objective, they're destroyed. So we can take a flyby now. We'll take this off of altitude hold and we will bank around to the left. We will get us a little bit of altitude here. We can go by and look at the smokers. Right on our nose. Baked up military power on the speed here. As you can see there is one down. There's the second one. Looking at the panel over here, and there's the third one. But they're all gone. Forward, we can reset the camera. It's a good practice after you shoot something. I just always hit forward. And there's the carrier and the other ship right there doing a little turn. Going down, light it up in the burner, going up over the mountain here. Alright, so that's that. And take the objective. So we got the saws, the fleet is gone, we got some tanks. We'll hit waypoint, tanks. Navigation 57 nautical miles back that way, so got a little ways to go. So we got it in burner already. We're headed towards that, and we can take it to GPS and we can just delete all of that out of there because we're done with that. Back to our navigation here. There it is, straight up. And pretty much there we go. So we'll lock in the heading, lock in the altitude, hands off. So hands free right now, we have it in cruise control. Alright, so that's basically it. The plane will fly itself. We'll go after these tanks up here. We're going to take those out probably with some AGM-65s, which are just kind of lock onto the target, get the tone, shoot. Pretty simple. And you can shoot multiple targets in succession. So you don't have to wait for impact. You can lock on, shoot, lock on, shoot, lock on, shoot, and just keep on going as long as you got the missiles. So, all right, 45. Anybody got any new jokes? Knock jokes? Anything? Nothing? Yeah. So, depending on, I usually don't put my targets, so I usually don't use this map. Let's start from the beginning. I usually don't use this map for one of my missions because it takes a little bit longer to load, but I get tired of doing the same map over, so I picked a different map, different terrain, a lot more hills on this one. The other one is, I can't remember what map it is. It's an Octoon or whatever it is, but it's got the city and stuff, and that one's just easier, fast load, and it's got a good variety of stuff. But this one gave you mountains, so it's a different type of approach to get stuff on this one. So not ideal to be using afterburner for this long. Just trying to get there so we can get these targets. So 35 nautical miles. Go ahead and change over to our TGP. Bring that down here. It's been a while, so I'm not sure. Let's see here, there. So, okay, these are going to be inside the mountains in a ridge somewhere, so we're not going straight to it. We're going to have to get up in the air and come down at them at an angle for the AG. Go ahead and select them. AGM 65s. So as you can see here in the hood, I'll scoot forward so maybe you can see it. No, you can't see it. No, yeah, you can't see it. I'd have to switch the stationary. Let you. No. Oh, smooth look. That might work. But I have quantity 1, but I have it set on replenish the weapon, so I can shoot and then it replenishes. So this allows me to set up stores for so many different weapons on each pylon, if you will, versus just having a random set and that's it. And I need to, land, rearm, refuel. It's a lot easier if you just set up, whatever, a base store of whatever it is you need, and then you can actually go back and just keep
Autopilot
using those weapons.
disengaged.
So, all right, autopilot disengaged. We're getting close. We can take this out of burner. Zoom out. All right, they're gonna be over there. So
Autopilot disengaged.
I thought it said autopilot disengaged already. We're gonna bank around to the right here. As you can see right here, this is perfect. You got the little ridge in there, so I got stuff down over the ridge, inside the ridge. So I do have some SAMs on top of the ridge, but we're not going for those targets now. I'm going to turn on the visor. Visor came down. This shows me over there on the left where my target is. So it is at my 9 o'clock, just about right now. So, without the visor down, you wouldn't know exactly where that target is. So the visor does have some good things for it. This is one of the good things for it, but as far as locking up the targets using the head, you can just throw that in the trash. You throw that in the trash. I guess if you're looking at something from far away, they're in front of us. We have forward. We can hit this stuff. We can hit this stuff down here. There we go. So there's a factory. We got them locked up.
Shoot.
Hold the index finger
Shoot.
and press the thumb button.
Shoot. Shoot.
And then we got some little tanks down there.
Shoot. Shoot.
That's a lot of AGMs. A lot of AGMs.
Engaging targets.
Shoot. Shoot. Altitude. 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 Altitude.
So apparently some of the AGMs did not blow up. buildings, but that's okay. See how it says gimbal limit there? So hit forward. We got some hydras. Zoom out. And we are gonna pull back on the stick. We're gonna do a loop-de-loop. So going vertical, coming back around. Airspeed is dying. There's the ground. There we go. Bringing it back down towards the ground. And roly-poly. Little break. Done with the hydras, and cutting back on the throttle. Go back to our AGMs because that was a bonus target that we weren't going for. Alright, and you kind of saw how the AGMs work. You press that index finger and then the right thumb to shoot. So the right index finger locks on the target, and then to actually shoot the weapon is the thumb button, top thumb button. Alright, coming up over the crest of the hill here. Got our source of interest. Bring that puppy down. We still got a couple of ridges, so we got these things. These tanks are tucked in over here. Alright, gonna bring it around to the right a little bit. Try to get a better angle based upon that hill. Hill here, putting her in the burner, banking around.
Shoot. Shoot. Shoot.
Enemy targets, engage.
There we go. Impact, 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 and impact. 4 tanks just like that. Bam, bam, boom, bam, bam. Alright. Forward. Home.
Bingo fuel disengaging.
Alright, he is bingo fuel. He needs to go, so he's going to either back to base or he may hit one of the refueling things. So we got some saws. Objective, waypoint, navigation. They're 50 nautical miles. Not doing that. Not doing that. Fleet, that. RTB lake base. We could hit one of the refueling drones. RTB 32 back this way, so hitting the burners. Gonna come over here, lift up the jettison, select the tanks, and we're gonna bring up the camcorder. There's the fly along, and then we'll hit jettison, and you'll see the tanks go off. So we got rid of our tanks. So now we're using our internal fuel here. So for that, now we could actually refuel because using that. So turning off the master, don't need our weapons.
Bingo field, sir. I'm RTB.
He's RTB, so he's going back to base. So come up with the comms, ATC Nemitz.
Hotel 1-1, tower, copy. Fly heading 056. Expect runway 05.
056.
Hotel 1-1, tower, copy. Fly heading 058. Expect runway 05.
Alright, so heading 058. And runway 05. Alright, so there is the carrier. So as you can see here, I put in 058. It's right in front of us, so I take this off, give our TGP, hit forward, zoom out, source of interest, bring this down. There you go, there's our carrier, and we're coming up right behind it for a landing. So this is a good use of the TGP, so you can actually get that selected so you can actually see it from afar off and get lined up. So this helps. So alright, first things first, we're up 6,000 feet. This is not bad. Need to come bring it around to the left here. As you can see, the carrier, the deck there is offset, it's not straight, so we have to be over here to the right of it and turn back to it. So first things first, I would suggest I'm not an expert, I can land, I cannot land too, so, but for your first few tries, what I would suggest is turning on the speed. Turn on your speed, and then use the speed adjuster here and bring it somewhere down around 190-ish is a good place to start off with. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow the plane to adjust your speed. So you don't, it's one less thing you have to worry about. See, you can see the throttle is going back and forth on its own to hold that 190. And then we're going to start pitching our plane here. We're getting close to being where we need to line up. I'll bring up the visor here so we can see it. There's the deck over there. So we'll go ahead and start turning our plane here. Go, and that's fairly close to being lined up with what we need to. All right, perfect, we'll call that perfect. So we want to go ahead, put flaps down 1.
Contact, we'll top it off.
Okay, somebody's refueling.
Out of range, disconnecting.
Yeah, out of range, disconnecting. So that happens a lot with the drone. All right, and we got that. So forgive me. This is the first time I've played in a while, so we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Just a little bit more here.
Contact, we'll top it off. Out of range.
All right, 9 nautical miles.
Disconnecting. Hold it together now.
Something new they added to the game. You can go in the editor, that is, and you can actually muck with the wind speed, wind gust, and that makes it, I tried that just like, oh yeah, let's just give that a whirl. Oh my gosh, that made it like super duper hard. So,
Hotel 1-1, cleared to land on the carrier.
Hotel 1-1, cleared to land on the carrier. So we just got our final clearance. Gonna go ahead, lower that landing gear, lower that hook. Without the hook, you are not gonna land. All right, so, and then here's your meatball over here. Green is slow. And the full yellow circle means you're on glide scope. There we go, just a little slow on glide scope. There we go. On glide scope, looking good.
Contact. Hold it right there.
Still need to come around, it looks like. Oh, I
Out
got
of
the
range.
ship moving.
Disconnecting.
That's why. It's not stationary. I forgot that. And this one I have it going on a path. Which is more realistic, I guess. More realistic. Okay, minus. Okay. And then right around here, you will need
Autopilot
to...
disengaged.
Hotel 1-1, call the ball.
Hotel 1-1, I have the ball. And it says we're still good. But they usually... oh, we'll see.
Power, right for lineup. Power, right for lineup.
Wave off.
Wave off, you gotta go around. One wire. Welcome back. Follow the taxi path to your parking area.
There you go.
Contact.
If.
Hold that position.
And if
Disconnecting. Try to stay within the margins.
you
Contact.
do land,
Refueling.
we'll turn that off. So
Disconnecting.
once
Hold
you
it
land,
together now.
you're good. You can then wing fold up the wings, and then what you need to do, lift up your flaps. You need to take the hook up. So once you take the hook up, make sure you have control of the stick here. Take the hook up. And that brings the hook up, and now the cable's no longer connected, and now your throttle and stuff work again. And so now you want to get out of the way so other planes can land, because carrier life is no joke. They want you in, trapped, done, hook up, and move out the way, because these planes are coming in left and right. So you don't have time to sit there and, you know, tinker around. Because if you do, somebody will have to go around because the deck's not ready, and your boss would be very upset at you probably. So we just bring it around back here.
Rearmament and refueling service is good to go.
There we go. So he said rearming and refueling service is good to go. So you just bring it over to one of the deck mounts here, brake on, and you can let go of everything, and then that's it. You can power down, or if you want to rearm, refuel, you still need to power down. To do that, engines have to be off, and then you basically, you know, just select rearm, refuel, and then you can do that. So, but that's basically it. We took out a few targets.
Contact.
The base.
Let's top it off.
Somebody's still trying to refuel at one of those things, but that's it. So hopefully this is helpful
Disconnecting.
for
Hold
some
it
of
together
you
now.
out there. So hope you enjoyed.